What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Project Manga Podcast. I'm Noxie.
I'm Kiko.
And we are back with another episode of Tangential Tie-ins, met with a very special guest this time. This is a really good buddy of ours. So for those who don't know, Project Manga really started out as a manga chat, you know, on social media. And we've had this manga chat going for the better part of a decade now. Was the first iteration, and now I think it's on its third form. But our really good friend Hannibal has been there for quite a while, and it's the most epic group chat in the world, honestly, especially for manga and anime. And he's been a writer for a good minute. He's also an administrator, one of the people who runs an incredible pop culture aesthetic page on Facebook called Extra Dimensional. I'll put that in the description for you guys, so you guys can go check that out. They have everywhere from, you know, science fiction to anime to comic books to manga. It's an incredible page. You guys should all check it out. But what's going on, Hannibal? What's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. Just doing the damn thing.
Doing the damn thing. Okay. And you know, and tonight we're taking a look at the best transformations in anime. And this is a topic that we were talking about a little bit on Twitter. But we're basically taking a look at all of the epic moments throughout a lot of our favorite series. From all of our favorite characters that had to kick it up a notch at some point in time, whether that's to test their might against an opponent that, you know, is some kind of overwhelming force, or because they had to tweak out real quick and lose it to protect their friends, or some kind of combination of those things. We're taking a look at all of those incredible moments that either can make a series, sometimes break a series, you know, not to throw any names out there, but this is a really cool topic that we're all really excited for. And whenever, you know, some kind of new transformation or some kind of new form comes out in the series that we're following, that's one of the moments where you'll see a group chat really explode with conversations. So we wanted to bring that to the show today. And of course, in the beginning of the episode, I got to let you guys know, visit the link tree down in the description below. That's where you're going to see us on all of our other online communities. That's where you're going to see us on all of our other audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., as well as any other ways to support Project Manga and show your love for the show. But yeah, let's get into the topic. Oh yeah, also at the front of the episode, we're going to do the thing that we kind of usually do, where we have a discussion about some of the obvious, examples of the topic tonight. So before we go into, you know, a list of our personal picks, you know, that we have that might surprise some of you guys. But starting it off. And I know that a lot of our episodes kind of like start off with characters or a character from this series, but you just can't have a best transformations in anime episode without talking about the first time Goku ever went Super Saiyan in the Namek Frieza saga. Am I wrong there though?
No,
definitely
100%
not.
right.
Yeah,
100% right. Like it set the bar for what a transformation sequence is supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And did we even know about characters transforming before that even happened? Like, oh damn,
Yes,
we were this, and now we're some new shit now.
Yeah.
And it's like that, you know, it was a fairly new concept when, you know, 99.
I mean, we got it
2000.
kind of in like Sailor Moon, but
yeah,
I don't know if that
Yeah.
really counts.
yeah, but they were just like schoolgirls, and then they transformed into their Sailor Scout
like,
shit, and then just
Base schoolgirls, I guess. I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I feel like, at least for me, that was the first time I had seen an on-screen ascension, you know, into a new form, and you know, there was a lot of things that were incredible about it, from like the aesthetic aspect of it, of him changing the hair color and the eye color. I mean, really,
and like
outside
just
of
the personality change that came with it too.
Right.
Before he was all like, I'll just do this because it's fun, and then it's like, Gohan, take Piccolo and go. I gotta fuck this dude up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, like,
Yeah, and
Go off.
with a lot of these transformations that we're going to be going in depth on, it's not just like stylistically or aesthetically, or even hype driven. There's a lot of implications for the future of the story that we want to touch on, and of course any kind of emotional weight that was tied to the scene, and of course any kind of sentimental value that that these scenes or these transformations have. So as we're going through this list, you might hear some pocket picks that you don't really sound like the most epic or something you would consider it one of the best transformations, and that's why we're having all of those obvious picks at the front of the episode. But going back to Goku Super Saiyan 1, so this was a crazy scene, obviously, for a couple of different reasons. One, like I was saying earlier, this is one of the first transformations that I feel like we all ever saw. All three of us, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Especially, coming out of that nostalgic light, in the Toonami days and the Adult Swim days of just getting into anime. But inside of the narrative, like inside of the lore and inside of the narrative, like this transformation came with a pretty big emotional boulder attached to it, right? Because one, Krillin just died for the second time in front of Goku. You know what I mean? And this is the second time that his best friend has died in this series. You know what I mean? So
back then they didn't have the constant revive. It was like once and done, and that's it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And not only that, but like this is also coming from like a place of oppression, right? Because you have Frieza, who destroyed his entire race of people. And constantly talking crazy about Saiyans throughout the entirety of this arc, and pretty much his entire character arc has been, monkey this. And
he had just tanked the Spirit Bomb, gathered with energy from all the planets around him, so it's like whatever comes after that has to be bigger than that.
Right. Exactly.
I know, because when that happened, you're like, what can happen now? Like,
it's like what else he got? Like that was the biggest gun in your arsenal. And he just kind of said,
out of the water, like, all right, I'm fucked up, but I took that bitch. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? And you're just like, what is he gonna do?
I guess I'll die.
Yeah.
Guess I'll die.
I got the red on too. That's funny.
And you're old.
I'm literally 72, so like it was perfect.
You get that goatee all white.
I know, Well, I'm not in character yet.
Oh man, when that meme is reality, though, we're gonna go crazy on you, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Super Saiyan 1 was huge. I mean, another really epic transfer. Well, before we move on away from Goku Super Saiyan 1, we might as well talk about a couple of really other epic Super Saiyan transformations, because I feel like I want to skip over Super Saiyan 2 unless you guys have some words you want to say about it exclusively for Goku, but I feel like we could probably go straight to Super Saiyan 3 real quick.
I mean,
you're probably talking about 2.
Because, two really, for me, is only worth bringing up because of Gohan.
Exactly, right. That's
that was Gohan's whole shtick was, you're stronger than your dad, you just don't know it yet. All it takes is this rust bucket getting scrunched up. And all of a sudden, you've got Super Saiyan 2.
Right.
And you powered up so hard, you punched the dude once and put him back a stage. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that was massive. And of course, inside of that, you have the father-son Kamehameha wave, which is probably arguably the most... I feel like, okay, what do you guys think was more hype? Goku Super Saiyan 1, like personally, what do you guys think was more hype? Goku Super Saiyan 1 or Father-Son Kamehameha?
Probably Father-Son Kamehameha.
Right.
To be honest, because
I gotta go Super Saiyan 1.
Do you?
See, Super Saiyan 1 though, it's like the only problem with the whole thing is it just took so long to get there. Like, especially if you're watching the anime, it's like there was so many episodes in that Frieza fight. I want to say there's like 20 episodes of fighting after that, if not 30.
Yeah.
And there was like 50 prior to that, if you count all the way back to like when the Vegeta and Frieza first like fight, when Frieza's in like the base form, not even level 1, whatever the hell you call his tiny boy form, you know?
in the Xavier wheel around, floating the floating,
you know, he's in the
but I mean that's just kind of show how much of a threat Frieza is. Like, he's been going at it for probably like 3 or 4 in world real hours, and he's still broke a sweat yet.
Yeah, that's super scary.
3 hours, 70 episodes. That's anime, baby.
Well, no, what is it? The new DBZ game that came out, the Fighters game?
Yeah.
Like the time clock actually stops when they're charging an attack. So they actually put that in the game.
No way.
Yep, the match counter actually stops when they charge up attack.
That's amazing. Yep. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's incredible. That's incredible. But I mean, and I'm glad that we touched on Super Saiyan 2 for a little bit. There's probably some more things that we can say about Super Saiyan 2, but Super Saiyan 3, okay? Let me give you guys. I know I'm gonna take a lot of people back here when I say this. Now, when Super Saiyan 3 was happening in the Buu saga on Toonami, this is something that like my school schedule where I was going to school perfectly lined up for. So like I would get home and I think it would be like halfway through Tenchi Muyo or whatever it was that came on before Dragon Ball Z. So I had the perfect amount of time to grab my snacks, set up a little fucking fort, you know, like in my room, you know what I'm saying? Get all the way fucking situated, right? And when I tell you, like, I'm all day in class, bro, I'm sketching in my fucking sketchbook, drawing fucking, I'm not paying attention to a single thing that fucking teachers are saying, bro. Not taking notes, I'm drawing Super Saiyan shit. And fucking, I get off the bus, I full sprint home, jet down into my fucking bedroom. I don't even say hi to my family at all. And I get
fuck those guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I get situated, right? And I set up my little fort and I'm ready to go. And I'm sitting here watching Tenchi Muyo and I'm like, come on, like get to Dragon Ball, you know what I'm saying? And then I pass out right before the episode starts. And then I wake up halfway through the narrator giving the preview for the next episode.
Oh.
And this is like before I really had internet like that. So, and like, this is like kind of like before like YouTube like had everything on there, you know, like the next day, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there just like devastated. Like I missed the biggest moment of my entire life up until this point.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like Super Saiyan 3 like is always going to hold a special place in my heart as probably my favorite, you know, Dragon Ball moment, because by the time I saw that and that came back around,
because you know Tommy used to do like the DBZ marathons on like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So you like do all the episodes that were played that week all at once on Saturdays. You catch it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I think most parents absolutely hated DBZ just because how many of us, like, let's be real here, we have all tried to go Super Saiyan.
Every single one of us.
Screaming at the top of our lungs.
I thought you were going to say try to punch your little brother through the wall, because I tried to do some of that shit.
We've all done that before.
Yeah, who hasn't tried to go Super Saiyan? Who hasn't tried to Kamehameha Wave? Who hasn't popped a blood vessel in their eye, screaming at the top of
my
their
dad
lungs?
would just lay into me because I'd be in the bathroom screaming for
Fuck yeah. Another obvious transformation that we have to talk about when you see, you know, when you see the title of this episode or you see the thumbnail is Gon's adult form versus Pitou. And if you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter yet, spoilers ahead, but like, what are you doing, dude?
Like, get your life together, man.
Yeah, like I don't even feel this is like the one thing you don't want spoiled from that series. But if you haven't seen it by now, like, that's your fault, and we're talking about it because this is the best transformations episode.
It's only 12 years old, so
right. And you saw the thumbnail before you clicked on this. If you're on YouTube, so
you probably thought that was someone's DeviantArt picture, but nope.
Yeah, we got booty short shads. Yeah, so
it's one of the littest. It's one of the most lit transformations that you're ever going to get, and when this is happening in the series, I mean, honestly though, Kiko, I feel like I want to let you go ahead and take the reins on this one first, because
I mean, Hunter is the greatest thing of all time. Like the anime, the 2011 anime, I feel like is the greatest anime of all time, and I put Hunter so high, you know, like it hurts my heart that the shit keeps going on, fucking these year hiatuses, you know, like if we could just get fucking Dark Continent shit and just get going with this, like I think my life would be complete. I got One Piece starting to wrap up. If we got Hunter going again, and it's like, man. But yeah, so this transformation in particular, what I want to talk about it is how people want to act like it's fucking, you know, just ass pull Deus Ex Machina type shit. It's like, bro, this is, first of all, Nen is the most well thought out energy system, and it's not close. And like, there's very firm rules on this. It's not like he just pulled this out of his ass. Like he had to give everything for this.
And Togashi's not going to squander all of that precision and all of that forethought with something that is so obviously outside of the parameters of the story that he's been telling for 200 some odd chapters. You know what I mean? Just so like, if you like, and you know, at surface level, sure, it's going to seem like it came out of nowhere, because when you're going through this arc, bro, the whole time, I'm not gonna lie, before I knew what was coming, while I'm reading this, for mind you, I'm sitting here like, why is Gon alone in this room with Pitou, bro? What is he going to do? I wasn't convinced for a second that this was a good idea, or that anything positive was going to come from this.
I know.
And you were right. Nothing positive did come. So
yeah. I meant like in regard to like him coming out on top. You know what I mean? Like the ramifications, obviously, in the aftermath. You know, obviously there wasn't a single good thing about it, but just the fact that he devastated her the way that he did was just something that I wasn't ready for. And at first, I'm not going to lie, in the back of my head, obviously the hype and the butt clench, you know, overshadowed all of my critique, you know, that I would possibly have. But like, when you sit and think about it for a second, you're like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? Like, this has to make sense somehow, but I don't get it. And it's not until like you really sit and digest it and absorb it that you realize this is all happening inside of the rules of Nen.
Yeah.
Especially,
so based on that transformation, how I understood it was he traded all of his future potential for power right then.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
That's a very enhancer-like condition as well.
Exactly.
And it
makes sense for his class.
That enhancer could do that. And it makes sense that it above and beyond anything, as long as the condition matches the power, you know, spike, you're going to be able to get it, right? Like,
especially inside of the enhancer class.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, so you can give your future ability to use Nen, because as of we know right now, Gon still does not have Nen.
Exactly. And there's consequences thereafter that are long lasting. So that throws Deus Ex Machina really out the window, really, at that point.
And he would have never survived. He would have been what he was.
That shriveled up raisin.
Nanika, you know, like without Aluka coming, you know, it's like, and
all she did was restore his body. He didn't even get his Nen back after that. So this is the farthest thing away from an ass pull that you can get.
I wanted to know, like, so could he retrain with Wing and them and get back to the way he was? Because they made him normal, so his Nen nodes aren't open anymore. So could he just get reawakened and start over?
It's a good question.
I don't know, because I think they gave us one little glimpse of him, like, feeling like maybe.
No, he's standing there and he's like, I still don't have my Nen. That's the last thing that I saw. That's the last time we saw Gon, I think.
Makes sense.
You know, like, he's fully restored and he's totally fine. This is after the world tree and everything.
Jing pointed out that like all you did was all that's happened was he has to be made normal.
Yeah.
Normal people can't use Nen, but normal people can learn to use Nen.
That's right.
So like maybe he could just retrain.
Maybe.
But even without it, like, he's still a 12-year-old that pushed open a 12-ton door. So
you don't want to get stolen by little man.
No, hell no, absolutely not. But and I mean, outside of all of that conversation, I mean, obviously, like, when you look at this transformation inside of the narrative, you see Gon at the beginning of this arc, and Kite, you know, is talking, you know, a little bit about it, like, what happens. You know, because Gon still feels for the Chimera ants in the early, you know, stages of the story arc, and then you have that scene where, you know, he's like, if I don't, you know, if they're willing to change their ways, then, like, you know, like, why do we got to kill them? And also, these things care about, you know, or no, Kite was like, holy shit, I didn't expect you to just completely kill that Chimera ant like that, and he was like, well, he didn't care about his people anyway, so, you know what I'm saying, like. You know, I didn't have a problem killing him because, because he killed the armadillo, picked him up and crushed him,
and then Peter, and
then he killed the 16 arms. Well, he didn't kill him, but he sliced him in half with scissors, and then Kite blew his fucking brains out. So like, you have these scenes where he's ready to kill these Chimera ants that harbor no, you know, like, love or care for their people. And that's when Kite, like, points it out, like, yo, like, you kind of, like, you know, didn't hesitate to kill that thing. And he's like, well, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't care about his people. And then Kite's like, well, what are you gonna do when one does care about something?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Heavy. That was super heavy. And then fast forward to Kamuki, you know, and not just Kamuki, but we saw plenty of examples of Chimera ants that loved their brothers and sisters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just cool that we got that little like plot point there, because then going into, you know, the Kamuki scene where he's like, you don't get to want to fix a human while I'm ready to rip you to shreds because you killed my human. You know what I mean? Like, and you get this intense scene, and there's so much build up there, and you see so much development from Gon, from, you know, the naive kid that he was at the beginning of the arc that looked like he was starting to come into his own and get a little bit more ruthless, but like wasn't ready for a scene like this. You know what I mean? And then of course, you know, when Dr. Blythe spawns and Pitou is like, actually, your friend's dead, and I'm fixing my arm, and I'm gonna
kill you,
and I'm gonna kill you now. You know what I mean? And he's like, no,
nope,
you're not. You lied. You're
well. That's just it. I kind of feel like Gon was unreasonable in that moment.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, are enhancers reasonable? Are any enhancers reasonable?
That's a good point.
Okay, you got me there, but
finish your thought though. Yeah.
Pitou wasn't ever going to be able to bring him back from the dead. There's not a single Nen ability in the world that can do that.
Yeah.
Except for apparently Hisoka, but
I think Gon, just like going back to the naivety, you know, and him just didn't think that he was actually dead, and he thought that he was just under some kind of manipulation style Nen ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think that Gon, it really, you know, clicked in, you know, in his mind that because he didn't see him, he didn't see him get decapitated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the next time you saw him, he was all put together. He had scars everywhere, but
that could have been from the fight. But
right, yeah, you know, but you know, it just hit him, and just seeing him, you know, turn, and it was almost like a crazy, like reverse kind of situation from Gon going from like, you know, a pure human to this monster, and then Meruem going from a pure monster to, you know, basically a human. Which is just amazing writing on behalf of Togashi there.
Yeah, it's a little bit off topic, but that was probably why the Chimera Ant arc is my favorite arc in any series, is because the war is over before the battles are, which is really weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And the monsters are acting like people, the people are acting like monsters, and it's clear that neither side really wants to be there anymore.
Yeah.
They can't get out of it.
100%. That was very well said. Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
And going into the hype of the transformation, like, bro, when you see his adult body for the first time, you're like, what is going on? Then Pitou is like, I need to strike right now, and he just perfectly sidestep. Bro, upper kicks her.
Kicks her up.
Hits to kill Pitou.
Yeah, kicks her into the air. And then as she's coming down, he's charging the rock, but he's whispering it. And then it's just whoosh, you know, like the animation on that, and even in the manga, the illustration on that was just perfectly told the story that was being told there, you know. And then Killua's like, you know, hitting the Denko Sekka like through the forest, like trying to catch up, before, you know, with everything. And he sees the nuclear explosions going off in the background. He's like, whose ability is that, you know? And he runs up on Gon, and Gon's just in, you know,
tears,
complete blackout mode, just like rock. And then Killua's like, Gon, and Gon's like, rock. And then crushes her head into bits. You know what I mean?
My favorite part of that whole fight was he used his own severed arm to stake Pitou through the chest.
Oh my god,
that
bro.
was so wild. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, because she's dead, but then the Terpiscora still activates, and the men persist through death. And then cuts his arm off, bro. And that's just like when you see that, you're like, wait, there's no Breath of Archangel for this.
Nope. You maybe should have brought that card back from Greed Island.
I know. Right. I know you wanted to meet your dad, but it's like, I need like as many Breath of Archangels you're about to give me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that is like a Hunter get out of jail free card, and a world where apparently Super Isis is running around. You kind of want that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just an idea.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. So that's always going to be, you know, like one of the most epic transformations of all time. You're probably not going to find too many people who are going to disagree with that. Moving forward, another, and I mean, these next two, we don't have to go as in depth as Goku and Gon, but we have to bring up Vaso Lorde Ichigo.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
like
mean?
the best part of Bleach.
Right.
And I feel like it's almost not an opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just facts. That's the best part of Bleach.
And it's so crazy because like in that arc, like I don't think we had seen a second release Bankai. I don't think we had seen a second Bankai release yet until Ukiura activates into his second release, right? That was the first time we had seen a second
Murcielago, I want to say it's called.
Yeah.
No, that was the first release. The second one was... What was the second one?
No, I think the second one is Murcielago.
Probably. I'll check later. But
yeah, I'm not in the mood to check right now.
I mean,
but either way,
such a tight like energy javelin.
Yeah, the Cero javelin.
Yeah, dude, I was like, wait. So he's like, "Don't move. I don't know what happens when I throw this." So he threw it,
and it's literally just a hydrogen bomb in the background.
Yeah, like, oh, so maybe you shouldn't have got hit with that.
Yeah. You know, and it's so crazy because like, you know, once you see that second release, you're like, you don't think, okay, Ichigo is going to get some kind of second, situation. You know what I mean? You're literally like, what is going to happen? And then he point blanks the Cero in his chest and blows a fucking hole in him. You know what I mean?
And the Segundo Etapa, I think, is actually kind of up there for the Bleach moments, only because it didn't have to happen. Ukiura was in no danger of losing that fight before he even transformed. It was just another flex.
Right.
Like, just to show, exactly.
You're right. He was in no danger.
He had that fight in the bag.
Yep. You already run. Weird flex, but okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And Ichigo's had one Bankai.
Yeah.
And his entire arsenal is essentially Kamehameha Wave and Black Kamehameha Wave. That's it.
Yeah, bro. And when he Ceros him, in the chest, you're like, oh, it's over with. Someone's gonna have to come in and save him. I don't remember.
Where's Saraki?
Exactly. And then
gotta be on the way, right?
Yeah, you're like, where's his backup? And then all of a sudden, you just see.
Yep.
Undertaker.
Yeah, into this new form, and the design is, bro. It aesthetically, this is my favorite transformation of all time. It doesn't get more cold blooded than the fucking bro. Come on, bro. Yes, and then what's so crazy about it is how overwhelmingly he humiliates Ukiura after this. Because remember those fucking Cero javelins? Oh yeah, he catches one of those and holds it in his hand, and he's like, "What's cracking, bro?" And Ukiura is like, "This is impossible." And then he flexes his spiritual pressure at him and flattens him, and he's falling to the ground like a piece of fucking paper. And then he steps on his forehead and point blanks a horned Cero in his fucking forehead, bro. And evaporates him. This is the tightest transformation. This is why I chose it on the poll. And obviously, like, going versus Pito won that. But I mean, like, I don't think even it's hard to say. Obviously,
it's just that Hunter's a better story.
Yeah, for sure. But
you'll probably win the votes off that.
Yeah,
because you're right. Like aesthetically and just like, animation wise too. That shit just hits so hard.
It just hits like so different, bro.
Golden age of Bleach too, like right in that sweet spot.
Yeah,
that's the best part of
Kiko. Off topic. I thought somehow my cat got into your lap. And I was like, wait, because I think
this is a different kind of podcast than I ever seen before.
I was like, because I was just saying, so I haven't seen Cindy in a little while, and all of a sudden a gray cat shows up on your lap. I'm like, hold up,
yo, is this the cat from Men in Black?
Right? Where's Cindy? Oh, yeah, she's right there. We're good.
Oh,
This is Luna here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't beat Vaso Lorde in my opinion. Yeah. But moving forward, we obviously have to talk about the GOAT. Okay, Monkey D. Luffy.
Yep.
All right, because I want to talk about Gear 2nd and Gear 4th, like kind of in the same little like stretch of time here. But obviously we want to focus on Gear 2nd here first, because this is like the moment in the series, and me and Kiko talk about it all the time, and I think that we've had this conversation in the manga chat many times. But like, this is more significant than Gear 4th to me, because you weren't expecting a level up like this from Luffy before this happened. Right, but then once you get the explanation of it, you're like, this was always going to happen. You know what I mean? And the way that just like the pacing of the scene with Bluno in the Judicial Tower, and and we've quoted this this scene on this show before, but when he's sitting there and he's like, all of my moves are about to level up, And I have you to thank for it. I'm happy that I met you guys here today because I saw you kick the ground 10 times before you moved, and I saw your technique. Now I can protect my friends for a really long time. You know what I'm saying? Big ups, player.
And I'm super glad he actually did get something.
Yeah.
Because it's the same way I felt about when they got the Sunny Go instead of the Mary. I was like, if he becomes king of the pirates on that derpy piece of shit, I am going to be so angry.
Yeah, there definitely had to be more. You knew there was more. See, that's the thing. Like, especially at that time, I had no spoilers whatsoever for One Piece, and I just watched the anime. And it's like when I got to those episodes, it's like there was still another 200 episodes. It was like I probably got current in the anime around, you know, like Impel Downish, and I had to start reading, you know, at that point. And it's like, so when I get to Gear Second with no spoilers whatsoever, this shit just fucking blows me away. And you're like, after it happens, you're like, this is about the time I feel like I needed this. When I look at the length of what's going on right now, this was time for this, you know, time for, you know, some evolution in these characters where it's not just, okay, I'm going to jump into a new fight and I'm just going to do kind of the same thing, maybe put a little tweak on it and win somehow. You know, like you needed extra, and we got it at that time.
And this is coming out of the utter waxing that they received at the hands of Aokiji. Like literally, like in the little like half segment arc, like right before this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And,
all three of the monster trio just got absolutely wrecked.
Right,
didn't even break a sweat.
And that's the first time that you ever saw a loss like that from the crew. You know what I'm saying? So you're sitting here going, okay, this world is a lot bigger than we thought it was, and Oda's been increasing the size of it pretty much since Mihawk until this point. You know what I mean? So we're like, it's even bigger than we thought it was. You know
I think about this a lot where. I just remember sometimes randomly, there was a time Don Creek said he was the strongest man in the world.
Oh, man.
It's like,
the
like
Capri. The Capri.
5 million berry bounty. It's like, well, you got 5 million?
5 million.
Yeah. And we're sitting here like, and we're sitting here like,
there, right?
yeah. We're out here like, yo, this dude is cold-blooded. I mean, like, no, in the back of your head, you're kind of sitting here going like, all right, this motherfucker is tweaking, but
I feel like that might be kind of an underrated fight though, Luffy versus Don Creek.
It really is.
Hey, just because when he puts the fucking like spiked
the spike cape, and Luffy punches fucking through
right in on
it. Yes.
That was
hell yeah. And then you see him wrap his legs like around his neck and then like hammer him like head down into the ground. That's one of the tightest choreography wise before the gears. That's probably one of the better
pretty good fights, it's definitely really good.
But
yeah, I mean Gear 2 is so huge because, you know, you're like, okay, we're going into this fucking world government organization shit and we're about to try to get Robin back here, but like they've already pretty much worked us every time we've seen them,
right?
Across the board pretty much. So
we need something.
And it's like that's clearly just like the introduction to the fights of that arc where, you know, you're like, okay, he's going to fight Bluno. We got the Doriki fucking, you know, the levels of their Doriki. And it's like, we know that Bluno's among the bottom. So if Luffy don't just wipe his ass, they ain't going to win.
Exactly.
And I like that transformation a lot because everyone else got a power up too. It wasn't just Luffy getting second gear.
Yeah,
you know, we got
Ashura.
We got Soga saw again.
Yeah, we're seeing it again.
Diablo Jambe.
We're seeing it again. But yeah, we got Ashura, we got Diablo Jambe, we got Soga King, which is
was kind of a loss.
Was it? Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's
Kabuto,
a pretty.
Kabuto is the transformation, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, also
he gets to shoot Firebird Star, and then he gets to shoot fucking from, you know, the Tower of Justice all the way over to fucking shoot all the Marines
that can't even reach him with their rifles. But also, it's a transformation on behalf of Usopp too, because when he has that mask on, his confidence is different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I just don't like Usopp.
Yeah, we know. And we're not going to have that conversation right now.
We don't need to have that conversation right this second.
Because Pirate King Usopp's going to happen EOS. Anyway, so...
I'll hang myself.
No.
But yeah, Gear Second was just way more monumental than Gear Fourth, because by the time we get to Gear Fourth, we already know that more gears are going to come. You know what I mean?
Expecting
but in Gear Second, exactly. That was a pivot. That was a turning point in the series that really changed the entire game. Like there was no crazier feeling, I feel like, watching anime than watching him go Gear second for the first time.
And then Jet Pistol Bluno in the next week.
Yes.
Like, yes. That first punch connected, and I was like, Bluno's reaction was my reaction. I was like,
yes. Stamp into the spear, into the missile.
Yep.
Or in the jet stamp into the jet spear, into the jet missile.
Stamp, Yachty.
Yeah, dude.
Missile.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grabbed him by the horns. Grabbed him by
his hair, just like that. It just went in on it.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. And I mean, like, we could focus on Gear 4 too, but I kind of want to get into personal picks because we've been taking a little bit too long. I feel like we've been taking a little bit too long to talk about these goats. You know what I'm saying? But you already know what Gear 4 is. You already know what it is. You know?
The only thing I had against Gear 4 in the anime, I couldn't get over the sound effect of him bouncing.
I loved it.
I
loved it. It sounded. It was the perfect sound to me.
It threw me off. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
I know, and I didn't know what I was expecting either. But I was glad it was that. Because
tell me it didn't remind you of you had like the dodgeball, kickball when you busted.
Yeah.
But it was like if you like coded it in hockey, it's like, man, I wish I could have coded this dodgeball in hockey while I bust somebody in the head with it.
Yeah, I figured like a hockey coded dodgeball would probably just be a bowling ball.
Right.
You threw a bowling ball in his face.
Yeah, because we're not giving it like Luffy's property of rubber, I guess.
No,
code it. But
the tensile strength, isn't there in the dodgeball, but it still made that exact same sound, and it still fits in Gear 4.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but they killed it.
You know what? Now that you put it like that, I'm back on board. We're good now.
Yeah, straight up. All right, cool. All right, let's get into some personal picks. Who wants to start it off? Kiko, you want to go?
Yep, let's go.
Right.
So since we were going over, the bigger ones, just to get them out of the way, I wanted to kind of have kind of different themes with each one of my picks. And my first thing, it's probably the quickest one I have in my personal picks, but a transformation that's not of a human, but is an inanimate object, which is from Outlaw Star, where once Jean and Hazanko both get through the galactic ley line, they basically get like a temporary god power, where Hazanko, his body transforms into like a big ass like mech ship kind of thing, where the crew, the fucking Outlaw Star crew jumps into the Outlaw Star, or the XGP, whatever you want to call it, and so they jump into the fucking ship, and their ship transforms while they're fighting against Hazanko / whatever the fuck he is at that point, some kind of godly type being, where like technically Jean has that same shit. I guess you would have to think it's like they still have like the same. It's basically like temporary god power, and can do whatever they want with it. But Jean's like, no, I run with my crew. We're all a team. We're about to do this together. So they all jump in the Outlaw Star, where they all had fucking jobs basically in their ship, just like pirate crew or whatever.
Right.
And the ship evolved, added extra grappler arms, added extra weapons onto their grappler arms, big ass fucking knives and shit. And
weapons on weapons.
And it was a lot smaller than like what Hazanko made himself.
Yeah.
But there was so much it was so good. The animation at that time it's wild how good where it's like you see this ship maneuvering so tightly with like it's using like thrusts out of the side of the ship to sidestep and
the
shit.
Color palette too, like 90s anime just hits so different, you know what I mean?
The color palette is wild. Like it's crazy too, because it's like I just like rewatched Outlaw Star in like 1080 Blu-ray quality, and I'm just like,
what's that like?
It's like that shit is pretty as fuck.
I need to get on that.
I know, so it's like that's why it kind of came to me. It's like, for the first one, I'm gonna do an object, not an actual person, was their ship, which was tight because it's like they all kind of merge with their ship, or whatever. It's not like super explained, but it's super tight.
But it's I like that. That's a great pick.
Yeah, because it's like my later picks, it's like I'll just kind of say that I got two more picks. One is a person, like a character, like kind of like what we're doing here, but I also have more of a concept for the next one. So that's why I'm gonna throw the next one. I'm gonna go that way, but let y'all go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Hannibal, what you got?
All right, first pick right off the bat, also not human. It's when Ash's Charmeleon evolved into Charizard.
Okay, I'm so glad that you have a Pokemon pick, bro.
That was the best.
Yes.
Only because of the reason it happened. Charmeleon was like, I really want to check that fool's hinges, but I can't fly.
Yeah.
Except I can now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand Ash got kidnapped, but saving him is secondary to punching Aerodactyl. And that basically set the tone for their whole relationship up until he got frozen by Poliwrath.
Yeah, and it's so... And
it was nice
because League hit.
Yeah.
And then Charizard was his go-to for every hard fight. Like, he fought Arcuno, he fought Dragonite, he fought Entei.
Magmar.
Like,
wait, he was still Charmeleon when he fought Magmar.
No, he wasn't. He was Charmeleon. Or Charizard.
And he was like really not. That was like fresh into Charizard.
Yeah.
Really not listening back.
Yeah,
then.
and it's so cool that like they kept that concept like in the games and in the show where like if you're not a tight enough trainer, like your Pokemon's
he's not going to
listen to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Charizard did exactly what he wanted and none of what he didn't.
Yeah.
And he only lost to Richie in the Indigo League because Charizard refused to fight Scyther.
Yeah.
Could have walked all over him.
Yeah.
He's just like, nah, I'm a
chill.
Yep.
I'm a chill this out.
And the anime doesn't really like take this into consideration, but Charizard hard counters Scyther like in real gameplay, right?
Yep.
Like bug flying, like he'll just burn his ass.
Yeah.
If he had wanted to, he could have won that fight.
Yes.
Real easily. And he's like, I don't feel like it, and you can't make me. So
yeah. And the moment when Charizard finally does come around, though.
Yep.
And fuck with Ash, bro. Whew.
Yep. After Ash spends all night, basically, I don't want to say rubbing him out, but he was like deep eye.
Holy shit.
I mean, if you want to be the very best, you might have to rub one of them from time to time, like.
You gotta.
I gotta find a better way to say that next time. Holy shit!
You can't be the second best. Gary's rubbing his joints out, so
Man,
Gary's. Man.
Gary had bitches on tap. He's not rubbing any Pokemon out.
I don't want to think about what's happening in Gary's camp. To be honest,
I think about what's happening in Gary's camp a lot, probably more than I should. Like, I'm almost 30 and I'm still not that tight. He's 10 years old, got his own car,
convertibles,
like
on spokes.
All right,
with hydraulics and shit.
Does that mean our lives are a waste? Gary's tighter than us at 10.
Yeah. Wasted my life. No. But that's great that you have a Pokemon pick because I actually have a Pokemon pick too, and we're gonna go into mine because I actually have a tandem Pokemon pick here because I want to focus on Krabby to Kingler and Pidgeotto to Pidgeot because these are moments in Pokemon that were huge for me because when you're coming out of like Pikachu like not wanting to evolve into Raichu, and I'm pretty sure that Charmeleon goes to Charizard was the first evolution that Ash had. Yeah.
Nope, it was Butterfree.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The samurai, the bug samurai.
Yeah.
That's why I call everybody a novice because of that episode. I don't know if you guys ever knew the origin to that slur
I did not.
throwing at y'all, but that's definitely from the Metapod. But Krabby was so cool because like Ash Krabby was a Pokemon that I I don't even know why, but I just fucked with a crab Pokemon, you know what I mean? And it was so cool, and you know what I mean? His sound effects were super cool. And the first time that I had seen that Pokemon was in the show because I was playing at the same time, but hadn't ran into a Krabby yet. Yeah. But, so I was like, oh shit. And then I, tried to go into the game and find one, you know what I mean? And I just thought that arc was so cool. And then, when he's in the Indigo League and, it evolves into Kingler. And I had never seen a Kingler yet either, and he's got the one big claw, you know what I mean?
That one big meaty claw.
Yeah, bro, and it was just so hype because now we're in a tournament type situation and we got an evolution during the tournament, and then
Crabhammer's no hoe. That's a real
Crabhammer goes crazy and then
it was the part that got me was when he used Hyper Beam through his claw. I was like,
yo, and then yes, dude, yes, absolutely, and then he loses to an Arcanine.
That's the problem with the Pokemon anime.
Yeah,
it's like type advantage is lost all the time.
Because because there's no theater in that.
yeah, I guess it's like
no, there is.
You need suspense. You need butt clench, man.
Onyx, you know, like Pikachu should have never been able to beat Onyx.
You know, like, yeah.
Or the infamous Pikachu aim for the horn.
Yeah.
Aim for the horn. I'm like,
yeah. You're on an ice map, and you lose to an Arcanine with a Kingler. What's going on? But you needed that though, because that hurt. You're like, not only does this not make sense, but it's a huge loss, and you just got Kingler.
Actually, now it makes perfect sense. I just wish they had done it back in the day. So
yeah.
No, Arcanine can't. No, Arcanine can learn Solar Beam and Sunny Day. So if he had Solar Beam, Sunny Day, that would have done it. But
yeah.
Still 2 turns. You could get one shot. You got to put the Sunny Day first turn. So then Solar Beam, and it's like, why even do Sunny Day if Solar Beam takes 2 turns anyway? You could
because Sunny
Day makes it not take 2 turns.
Yeah, I know that, but Solar Beam
Sunny
takes
Day.
2 turns, and if you're gonna one shot a Kingler with Solar,
yeah, but Sunny Day also lowers water type attacks. So
yeah, you're right.
It's a good way to buy that. Better to get a buff on that first turn.
You're right.
One shot at the next turn, then
crits
happen, you know.
Yeah, crits are a thing. Yeah, for sure. And then like the Pidgeotto situation it was just way more of like an emotional situation for me, because like they're all chilling, you know what I'm saying? Like they're hanging out, they're having a good time. Team Rocket pulls up with their bitch ass again. You know what I'm saying? And just ruins the party. So now I'm mad that they got interrupted chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then Pidgeotto evolves. I think towards the end of that conflict, but I don't remember Pidgeotto evolving to specifically beat a Pokemon.
Pidgeot evolved specifically to beat up a Fearow.
Yeah, that's right, to beat Fearow. But the moment the moments that's so sentimental is that after that, Ash lets it go.
Yep.
And then never goes back to see the Pidgeot.
He's probably better off without it.
Oh yeah, Pidgeot's
or unless I mean, like, I haven't really been keeping up with Pokemon like that. But I mean, like, towards the end of my following of it, I'm just like, is Ash ever gonna go see Homeboy again? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, because that's like when it happens, you're like, oh, Pidgeot's gone, but you know, it'll either come back or he's gonna go see what's cracking. You know what I mean? And it's just
my
like,
favorite part of that Pidgeot fight is like, so Ash is on his back and he's like, Fearow used, I think it was Wing Attack, and Pidgeot just like claps like 3 times at him, sends like air blades at him, and each one of them they hit Fearow, and you're like, that has gotta hurt.
Yeah, that was so satisfying.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that shit coming.
Yeah, but I'm glad that we have Pokemon picks though, because that's
it's funny that you guys do though, to be honest, because Shads came on our Twitter post like, you guys need to put up some like,
shit I ain't expecting.
Yeah.
No one expects Pokemon.
Yeah.
No, but I was like, hey, I'm playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, so you're gonna be lucky right now if I don't talk about my Gigantamax Pokemon all goddamn pod, because you know what? My Charizard got extra fire on him. And looking nice, ready to fucking burn some people. You know? Like,
yeah. I mean, and I thought that you would be the one with a Pokemon pick, if anybody would.
I don't love the anime, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it. You know, it's like the manga just hits so much harder.
That's right. Yeah, you're big on the manga too. Yeah.
It's like, hey, if I want to throw a quick one reel in, fucking.
We're about to go into the lightning round anyway. I'm done.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just super quick. It's like, Lieutenant Surge has fucking 3 or 4 Magnemite fucking shocking fucking Red into oblivion till he's convulsing and throwing up, because the manga is way more ruthless.
Yeah.
And then after he's basically actually fucking electrically paralyzed.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Surge throws fucking Red off the fucking SSN, and his Poliwhirl evolves into Poliwrath to jump off and save him and dive in.
Yeah.
That shit was hype as fuck.
That's
probably one of my biggest.
In the Pokemon manga, is Lieutenant Surge still like 8'6"?
Yeah.
And is he still like a Bronx, like New Yorker too?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, how do you?
Maybe the way that they wrote it, they. Oh yeah, that's my favorite, dude. That's the funniest scene in Pokemon, when it's Raichu versus Pikachu, and he's like, Raichu, hit him with a thunderbolt, and then he hits him with the thunderbolt, and then Pikachu's like convulsing on the ground, and he's like, Raichu, another thunderbolt.
So he definitely wears black Air Force Ones. Got her.
If not Tim's, he's got that New York accent.
No, dude, he wears creased all black forces as socks with extra large black Timberlands as shoes.
Jesus Christ! I mean, you might just have broke the internet with that. I can't even like fathom. I'm gonna use fucking creased forces as socks to put in my Timberlands right now. Like this.
Imagine. Man. Yeah, but yeah, dude, another thunderbolt. That's epic. But yeah, I mean, we can start railing off some lightning round picks before we go into our second wave of.
All right, I'm going to tell you one.
Yeah,
tell you one how the transformation that pissed me off because it's how you do a transformation bad.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Nine-Tails Chakra Cloak.
Oh man,
I hated that one. I hated it so much.
Like when he fought Orochimaru? Is that the one?
No.
Sasuke, the first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that
one
is...
was Sage. Nope, the one he got after he got the Sage Mode Chakra.
Oh, so wait, that's later. Yeah.
Okay.
Where it was the golden nine-tailed fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the other ones looked so damn cool, and you're just this weird yellow fox cloud. Like,
I can't disagree with you there.
Like, the transformation you did when you fought Gaara was way cooler and way more in line with everyone else. And like, and the part that pissed me off the most was, so you're just chakra now. You don't have any physical mass. How are you affecting the world around you? You don't make any sense.
Chakra, big old chakra fist that comes out of him.
I guess
that was tight though.
I love
it was tight, but like,
I
agree with Hannibal.
liked
No, that's
all
not
the transformations up to that point. Even Eight Tails was still like had like a physical body. It was muscular, just missing the skin and the fur. That was it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that the one that started turning to bones and shit? Like
that was four that started having the bones and shit. Which I was like, okay, great. As long as you have a physical body like the rest of the tail beasts, we're good. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I was like, and then the Sage Mode Nine-Tails Chakra Cloak is just the same thing. It's just now you're Naruto size, so you're somehow lamer.
Yeah.
It's not like it's so hard because it's like at that time it's like we've already seen so many like iterations now of Nine-Tails Cloak Naruto. You know, it's like you get to see like the first one. I remember that. You know, the first one you really ever get to see is when Sasuke almost dies to Haku in the fucking crystal ice mirrors. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you.
He doesn't even have a tail, does he?
I think he does.
He has one tail. He has one.
No, you got the one tail when he fought Sasuke.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a tail.
Valley.
He doesn't even have a tail with Haku.
And it's like he doesn't even really have a. I don't think he has a chakra cloak at all. I think that's just where you see the teeth fucking turn into fangs.
No, he has a red. He has a red veil.
No, he doesn't. Not against Haku.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just has the teeth and like the enhanced whisker type shit.
Oh man, it's been so long, bro.
I don't know. The whole fight with Haku kind of weirded me out. I was like, how come you guys just can't walk out of the mirrors? Like, just go around them. You got
because
room.
Haku just disappears.
Yeah, he would intercept. He would intercepted you. He was all over the place.
Like, well, he ain't killed me yet. Just go left. Just keep going left. You'll be all right. Like. Why are you wasting time trying to melt the mirrors? Just go outside of them.
Yeah. And it's. I mean, I understand Haku's like, you'll never melt my mirrors. They're too dense with ice or something. And it's just like,
well, that's the first Kekkei Genkai that we like see, really, right? You know what I'm saying?
Other than Sharingan.
We saw Sharingan before that, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, technically, Kakashi.
Oh yeah.
And then Sasuke unleashes.
Got it in that fight.
Whatever.
Yeah,
unlocks
sure.
his levels up in that fight.
That's right. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. But that's hilarious. I didn't think that we would hear a bad example of a transformation. That's good though. That's good television.
Don't do it that way. Like or make it. I guess keep it in line with everyone else.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
It was just not as aesthetically pleasing as, say, the Eight Tails. Yeah. When he went full Eight Tails when he fought Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. A transformation that I wanted to lightly touch on, even though it deserves its own segment, but it's just one that I feel like we don't really have to say much about, and we can easily wrap up everything that we want to say in a really short amount of time. But the Escanor, I want to talk about Escanor a little bit here because and I'm talking about the first time that he's introduced into the series in the Vampires of Edinburgh side story.
That shit hit so hard.
It hit so hard because it's coming. Yeah, that was the peak
Sins,
of Nanatsu, bro, because you're coming right out of the Holy Knight saga. You know what I mean? And we still haven't seen Escanor yet. And you're like, when are we going to see Escanor? When are we going to see Escanor? And honestly, Vampires of Edinburgh, Escanor's introduction is way better than the Ten Commandments Escanor, introduction. And I mean, I don't want to say way better. They're pretty close because Galen was massive because he was such an overwhelming force until Escanor, and on his way while he's chasing Ban and
Elaine?
No, I think it's Ban and old girl that the Holy Knight girl.
Jericho?
Oh yeah, Jericho.
Yeah, and he's chasing and obviously he just massacred all of the sins. You know what I mean? And that's one of the most epic villain entrances that I think I've ever seen. And then coming out of that, you know what I mean? Like following that, you have Galen just like effortlessly doing whatever he wants from that point until Escanor. And he's chasing him and he's got his lance and he's hitting golf balls of gigantic boulders, sized golf balls out of the ground, trying to hit them in the distance while they're running. That's one of the most intense, scariest like chase scenes that I've ever seen, And then Escanor, in the little coffee shop or whatever the hell he's got, in the Ten Commandments arc, that's an incredible scene with Galen. But in Vampires of Edinburgh, it hit different because, like I was saying, you know what I mean? Like this is a side story that was being peppered in like every other week in between, the Ten Commandments and the conclusion of the Holy Knight saga, and you're just so ready to see Escanor, and then they go into this amazing story where aesthetically it's beautiful because they're all in their armors. It's every single sin that's included in this 3-part story, and the Vampire King is just an amazing story arc in itself, you know what I mean? And like that was just like a cool situation. And then you have Escanor here, lanky, skinny, and you knew that he was going to activate in some kind of crazy way, but you didn't know what. Yeah, you aren't expecting the execution to be so crazy, and you get the explanation of Sunshine from Merlin, and and talking about like as it's happening, you're getting like back and forth scene transitions of Escanor with Isrif and Merlin with the rest of the sins explaining Escanor, because she's like, I just felt a crazy power spike because Isrif hit him with the impurity, and hit him with the darkness beam, and that triggered and that signaled off Merlin, and she was like, holy shit, that's like 8,000 power level going on over there. That's crazy. I expect that from the Vampire King, but Sunshine though. And then big body Escanor sitting there like,
hard body Escanor with his like 16 pack.
Yes, exactly. And it's like a gradual, and it's this gradual like, transformation. It's not like an instant like spot transformation. It's slowly over time, and you learn about how his ability, increases from, nothing at night to, infinity at noon. And it's so crazy because like you see that this is the lion's sin of pride, right? And it's like his pride is also scaling with his power. He goes from talking like extremely like timid, you know what I mean? And he hates himself basically, and he's like, and then he just starts talking better and crazier shit as he gets bigger.
How often do transformations like really
change their psyche?
The psyche, and the personality. Like not often where it does it in that manner, where it's like a complete 180.
Yes, and his one-liners, bro.
I'm not 100% on Seven Deadly Sins, but wasn't Escanor when the first fight he had was against the guy who, if you felt any love at all, he just outright killed you?
It's actually hatred, and that's Esterosa.
Okay, and Escanor's whole thing was like, I don't hate them, I just pity them for not being me. I'm like,
yes, dude, his one-liners, like he has the best one-liners in that I think I've ever seen in anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the Vampires of Edinburgh flashback, when he finally like ascends into a formidable form, Isrif is like, all right, I've had enough playing cat and mouse with you, dog. You got any last words? And Escanor's like, yeah, man. Why don't you go ahead and apologize to me for being born into my world? He's like, what? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And then he's throwing all of these big names that attacks at him, and he's literally just flexing them away. He's not even using named attacks back. He's just getting bigger over time, and your attacks are not doing anything.
Definitely the golden age of that story.
Definitely
that
the
shit
golden age of that
so
story.
Like we were wilding almost week to week.
Bro, every week in the manga chat, bro, I was like losing my mind, bro.
Now. That's like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, crazy that we used to just. I mean, I feel like back then that like Vampires of Edinburgh. Like that feels like a lot between the fucking because.
Well, what chapter are we on now? 325.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And the
this
first Vampires of Edinburgh. 115.1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like. This is good years ago, bro.
That sounds about 5 years ago.
Yeah, right?
50 episodes a year or 50 chapters a year, roughly. You know, so
like that. Yeah, that was massive.
That's
crazy. Other transformation I think about a lot is Cell in Dragon Ball Z.
Ooh,
sure.
Mostly because I'm curious, like, what happens if he absorbed 7 or 18 first?
Would it be a different?
Would it be a different?
Same thing. I think.
So you think so Kiko, you're thinking that it's just an incremental power increase and it's not dependent on who it is you're actually absorbing, like Super Buu. Because Super Buu, it mattered who and in what order you absorbed people.
Yeah. I would say that 17 and 18 are roughly the same power level, if you can even give them a power level, being that they were androids that had just infinite power source that never wore out.
Yeah.
That if he would have absorbed 18 before 17, he would still be second level Cell. And the only difference is 17 wouldn't have got absorbed, I don't think, from, I don't know, after, with Vegeta and fucking Trunks fighting each other basically over, are we going to let Cell fucking absorb?
Perfect, yep.
Yeah, or not. I feel like 17 would have took that time and got out of there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, did Cell have a way to, like, find the androids? Because I know they couldn't sense their...
No, he couldn't.
So if he had
just looking for them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure 18 and 16 hid for a while, and
that's
Krillin
right.
was like with them, and they were all like trying to just hide in rocks and shit. Well, Vegeta and Trunks were basically fighting each other to see are we gonna let him or not.
You fucked up, Vegeta. That was you had it.
When does Vegeta not do that?
I know, dude. He's always tweaking, bro.
Dude,
and that's why I hate what Toriyama did with his character, because it's like, this is someone who should have good
I
W's.
I was the one who beat Cell.
Yeah.
He could have had that win over everyone.
Yeah.
Nope.
Everybody should have a significant, like, all of the Z fighters should have had at least something that can be, like that you could, like, that could be called a significant win. You know what I mean? Against somebody that mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and for Vegeta to not even have one, bro.
I know.
He's got more finishing moves than everyone else in the cast.
I swear to God.
He's never won a major fight.
No.
Yeah, and
I mean, nobody has who isn't Goku or Gohan. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, Piccolo's biggest fight is versus Android 17, and they don't even get to finish it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you're like, all right, well, this fight hits. It was tight. I loved it. Hellzone Grenade was a tight ass ability.
Bro.
But like,
also Trunks is
kind
of stupid in that fight. Like, why are you fighting Vegeta and not just going off to fold up one of the androids?
I don't know. He could have just crumpled her head. And
oh man, I don't.
You're gonna have to come up off that head real quick.
Yep. Like, you can't absorb the android if I destroy her, right?
Yeah. This is gonna turn into a serious tirade real quick if we move on. But I mean, I feel like I have to segue. You know, I feel like it's a good segue into my second pick. So I'm just gonna start the second round off. Because I want to talk about the Piccolo and Nail fusion for a second. Because this is a transformation that, isn't the most aesthetically pleasing, transformation. I mean, honestly, there's no aesthetic changes at all, really.
There's no change at all.
But the scene is so cool the scene was so cool to me because, and just like the situation itself, because like this is the first time I think that we're seeing a Z fighter other than Goku go through any kind of significant transformation that isn't Saiyan based. You know what I mean? And like this isn't or actually I think the only really thing that you can call a transformation before this was Kaioken on the protagonist side of things. Yep. So seeing Piccolo get a jump like this is cool, and just like the scene with Nail on the ground all fucked up and Piccolo wants to walk right past him, like he pays some respects to him. He's like, all right, you did good, my guy.
You did your best.
Back to this money, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, wait a minute, you ain't ready for Frieza. And Piccolo is like, I'm gonna go try, and he's like, bro, no. You feel Frieza. you need to relax. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, what, you think I'm gonna go fuse with Kami? I ain't gonna go fuse with Kami. I'm gonna go try my best. And he's like, no, don't.
And then 3 years later, that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. He's like, no, don't fuse with Kami. Fuse with me. And Piccolo's like, I mean, you know, and Piccolo's
that's
like,
a thing.
Yeah, and Piccolo's comment, you know, and Nail is commenting. He's like, man, you know, like you're almost as tight as like ancient Namekians, you know what I'm saying? But you're still not tight enough for Frieza, and you know it. And Piccolo's like, all right, so I can fuse with you. So what? You're gonna like take over like half of my consciousness or something like that? He's like, nope, you're just gonna get straight power. And I'm out. Just get my power. Yeah, and I'm out of here. And Piccolo's
like, you'll be able to feel me, but I'm like not a presence, really. Like you'll be able to sense something like maybe deep inside with yourself, but it's not like I'm not gonna take over any bit of your mind in any way.
And it was just a really cool like character moment for Piccolo, you know, and that you can almost like feel like some of his like antagonist like form, you know, like antagonist personality coming out, you know, like after he fuses with Nail, because he's like, okay, you know, like he's like, wait a minute, I'm unstoppable. I should have had this years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then that whole pump up montage he gives himself, you know.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can win. I'm the best.
Great. I'm like,
all right, calm down, buddy. Like, let's see. Let's fight first before we got all this pep talk.
He was really good at this, where they gave Piccolo a power up twice, and then ended up no-selling it just to keep the Saiyans in the limelight. And I'm like,
I know, man.
So sad.
I know.
It really was sad. So he walked all over second stage Frieza. I was like, cool, fight's over. Namex saved, and oh wait, he's a third form.
Oh,
are we gonna? Is this gonna be a thing? Is this like it's gonna be a trend? It's like, okay, great. Fuse with Kami. All right, now you're ready to up 18, and then. Cell's here, and he just straight up absorbed 17. He's now strong. Okay. You got another victory snatched away from you, Piccolo.
But one of my favorite Piccolo moments is in Return of Cooler, when he's getting surrounded by all of those invincible, you know, Cooler bots. You know what I'm saying? And they all shoot the arms at him, and they're all like stuck to him, and then they're shooting the Uzis at him, and there's this huge cloud, and you're like,
and he's all like, "Are you finished?"
Yes, bro. Oh! And then like this, like the outward 360 explosion. I was like, yes.
It was nice that he was the one who figured out how to get through their armor.
Yeah, that's right. You just have to use code.
Basically. Just focus your energy on one point.
Yeah.
There's another Piccolo transformation I don't think you guys are remembering.
Ooh, Dead Zone?
No.
Wait, no, he doesn't really do anything. He becomes a vampire in Dead Zone.
Where'd you get those clothes? Your wife gave them to me out of your closet.
Holy hell.
Best Piccolo transformation right there, wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, man. No, he had a jersey. He had the Hennessy jersey on.
No, the jersey's the other shit. I don't know. I don't
remember the jersey. I don't remember the jersey.
He had like a hockey jersey on.
And like a hat on.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like ball cap. You know what I'm saying? And then he had some faded blue jeans that were cuffed with the white socks underneath it. And then he had the retro joints on. The retro Airs, the Air Maxes.
He was starring in White Man Can't Jump in that one.
It was a Piccolo hockey jersey, you said?
I don't know. It's something like that. I remember it being like a hockey style like top. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. God damn it. I'm looking this up right now, and all I'm getting is hockey jerseys for sale.
No, all you got to do is go, you know, Piccolo, where'd you get those clothes? That's literally all you got to do.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's hilarious. That's definitely a glow up, a drip, a transformation Tuesday. That's all of the social media hashtags that you can get in one meme. Yeah, absolutely. Hannibal, what's next? What you got on your list?
Elder Togoro's 100% transformation.
Let's go, baby.
See, it was nice. I don't know why they did this in the
Younger Togoro.
Younger Togoro.
I'm sorry. Younger Togoro.
Thanks, you're good.
His transformation in English, they said it was him at. They said it was 120% in the Japanese version, but they kept it at like 100% in the English version. I'm like,
Well,
I could have sworn they went over. I could have
too.
sworn they went over 100 in the English.
No, how it was explained is he said, "I said that was 100%. It
was more like
really
85.
about 85." Yeah, he's like, "I have a real 100%, but I was just fronting on my actual 100." Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought in the original Japanese that was 120%, the one where he had the vacuums on his shoulders and shit.
Yeah,
I
think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I think that was, yeah, but I liked it better in the English because Yusuke was struggling that whole time, and he's like, "Well, JK, here's actually 100." You know?
Yeah.
There's that one, and just because everything we've seen him do up to that point at different power levels was just completely insane. Where he carries the ring from the one stadium, carries it across the whole width of the island on his back at like 10%.
Yeah.
So he's got 100%, and he's sucking out souls and shit. And all right,
that too, because like somebody passes out, and I think Kuwabara was passed out, and he wakes up. He's like, "Hey, like what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, the next round started." And he's like, "What? How could the next round start? We like destroyed that stadium." And they're like, "No, Toguro carried that shit on his back. He carried the whole new fucking ring here." And he's like, "What?"
Yep.
I need to hire the Toguro brothers next time. I gotta move.
Dude, moving.
There was one time
I'll just
send to the chat. But I actually did the math on how much he carried, how far he carried it, and how many calories he burned carrying it.
Yo,
I was
of course
really
you
bored
did.
One day. Yeah, I was real bored one day.
What's his stats, bro?
Give me a second.
It's fine. You don't have. I'm putting you on the spot.
Stats, bro got the hardest nipples in the game. I'll tell you that. 100% nipples power right here. You're all like, dude, put a shirt on.
Literal mountains.
He's over here talking like, so Kakashi cut a lightning bolt. He's like, I cut a diamond with my nip.
It's an ability. I just whap.
It's a named attack. Yeah, dude. Elder Toguro is real good. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
Nope. Other than I was like, I saw the mass he had, and I understood it was just a cartoon, and I was like, I could probably get close to it.
And now you got that shit above your bed. You're praying to that every night.
Every night.
Let me get that swole. You bring that shit to the gym. That's your lock screen.
Bless me with these gains.
That's incredible. Kiko, what do you got next?
So, what I was saying earlier, like how I wanted to kind of like do kind of a different theme for each one of my picks. Like the second thing I wanted to do was more of a concept, or maybe a plot point of Witch Hat Atelier, which I tell people to read all the time.
You do tell me to read that all the time, good. Dude. I'm tweaking. I need to get on that.
It's super fucking good. I'll just kind of quickly give you a rundown. Like a little girl who's basically a muggle, or whatever you want to call her, a regular human that doesn't know shit about the magic world, gets sold this book of forbidden magic by what's known as a brim hat. And the brim hat are basically the outlaws of the magic world. And so there's mages that do all these things to make sure the world is like fair and just, and
Hannibal's like, hold on, wait a minute, what we doing?
I know. I'm sold on this.
You got me.
It's like Harry Potter parallels.
Yeah, it's there's a lot
of
Harry
another
Potter
book. Just read another
book. But yeah, so she ends up, I don't know, this magic goes awry or whatever, and turns her mom into some like fucking like petrified fucking statue or some shit, and should not have had any magic. Even if she was sold this fucking book of forbidden magic, she shouldn't have been able to do that magic no matter what, And so obviously she's special in some way and is the main character, and the story is about her. Like, she's the main character, and there's other girls in this atelier which is basically a little witch. I don't want to say it's a school. They learn there and they get better and stuff, and it is a school, but they also kind of like do jobs or whatever for their region or whatever that the humans ain't really supposed to know about, but they help like regular humans. And so the transformations that happen in this story are very concept driven, because it's human magic is forbidden. Like to use magic on yourself to alter your composition in any way or anything like that. Like anything that's going to like be, fucking just shunned. You know, like we're not going to put anybody in these positions of like the amount of power that you can have once you start like altering people and stuff like that. Like,
and let me guess, that's exactly what she does.
Well, she doesn't yet. Who knows? It's only at like it's a monthly.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's monthly.
It's a
so
monthly,
what? There's like 60 chapters.
Something like not even that, like 45 or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not a bad knockout. But
are they longer chapters?
Yeah, they're like 40 page chapters.
I know the art's super pretty, and I know the artist is actually worked on
DC
some Marvel
and DC. Yeah,
she's done some Marvel variants like here and there. I don't remember if she's actually like worked like at like in tandem with a writer throughout an entire series, but I remember her name on like some Doctor Strange shit and maybe even some Iron Man.
Yeah, I have a Wonder Woman shit she drew just saved on my phone it's so fucking tight. It's the tightest Wonder Woman I ever seen, like tightest illustration for that. But anyway, so they have to go through like some kind of tuning exam type thing, you know, to level up as a witch, and they're in this like whatever trial during this arc, and they meet this like really you know, he's like a timid mage. He's like, he doesn't feel like he's good at his shit, you know, whatever. He has some skill, but it's like he is scared to show it and whatnot. And these brim hats come through and interfere in this shit and turn this fucking timid kid into a wolf, and he a scaled wolf, you know, like
is that the cap that I seen you share, bro?
Yes, with
share that again
on it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, we'll put that.
I'll definitely share this shit. It's one of the prettiest fucking manga that you could just. I mean, off art alone, it's worth reading. You know, like, so it changes boy into this thing, and it's
what does he have now that he's a lichen?
So yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's and he's hiding basically from the magic world right now, and they've covered up like they covered up this whole situation because they don't want him probably being dissected or whatever. And so like he's kind of just away now from the magic world and in hiding, and this mage that was like overseeing the training is in hiding with him to try to hold him down, but they're like, fuck, why ain't she back, kind of thing. And it's kind of really ramping up right now, and that's all kind of a part. But the thing that the brim hats, you only get to see one of their face. They're all like super cloaked, and they always got their hat down. You can't see what they look like.
Right.
And one of them gets their, you know, shit like blasted away, and he's a cat man. He's like altered his composition to be kind of like a cat and a man kind of together or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this story, I feel like, is really moving in that direction of we're going to have a lot of transformations.
All types of transformations, yeah.
And
does he get any buffs or anything like that, or any kind of like extra special abilities that you've seen so
by being
far?
that cat man
type, or the wolf even too?
See, the wolf, it's hard to know because it's like he got turned into it, and he basically, you know,
so he's brand new and doesn't know anything about his new form.
And he was a new mage too. Like he ain't have that much, you know, like magic ability too. Like
so he's gonna be cold eventually, bro.
Yeah, he definitely could be. But yeah, the brim hat that you can actually see their body, Sassadine is his name, and it's like he, as this cat, does have like enhanced agilities, like jumping around and shit, and like casting spells and shit. And the way that their magic works is different too, because it's not just like I cast a spell; it's drawn. Everything is art. They like have to draw circles and shit, kind of like alchemy.
Yeah.
And the people have like these glyphs that they've drawn on deck, ready to use if they need to, you know. And that's the thing about the mage is like, okay, people can see you do magic, but they can't see how you do it. Like, so under my cloak, I drew this whole shit without looking. It's like, you know, it's kind of reminiscent of like when Kakashi fought Itachi the first time. He's like, he doesn't need hand symbols, and he's like, he did it like within his fucking Akatsuki cloak. Yeah, he did it inside his Akatsuki cloak, and you didn't get to see the hand symbols. That's what I thought about right away when it's like, I draw this shit under where you can't see it, and it's like, boom, I bring out this magic out of nowhere, which seemingly comes out of nothing.
But using like drawing something that intricate and not looking at it is
you ever try to draw something with your eyes closed? Hand signals are a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. And there's a lot of training arc type shit, like where drawing, there's so many just like like the down moments are just Coco, the main character, like looking at different types of glyphs and drawing styles and all these things and digesting them and trying to incorporate them with her style and shit. So yeah, it's
sounds
transformation. Tight. Transformation is definitely going to be a big part of this story, and
I'll read that shit. Bro.
Really, I really want
that sounds pretty good.
I'm gonna finish Radiant, and then I have to do Kengan Ashura, and then
I was reading Samurai 8, but I heard that was getting canceled. I don't know if that's still a thing. I was reading Samurai 8, but I heard that was getting canceled, so I don't want to put too much. Oh, it's not?
No way.
Okay.
It made the cut. They canceled the cut. They canceled Shinobi.
They canceled Tokyo Shinobi Squad, and I think they canceled something else. Okay.
Because I was about to say, if that's getting canceled, I won't.
I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's safe, but I mean, like, come on, bro.
But it's pretty safe. It's Kishimoto.
Yeah,
right.
And it's Kishimoto. Yeah, but which had Atelier.
I highly recommend it. There's a couple people on Twitter who I fuck with who they love it, and it's I only got like a very small amount of people that I can talk to about it. So I would love for y'all to join in.
And I'll be joining you pretty soon here. But so before we move into our final choices here, let's just fire off a couple other lightning round picks that we have, and then we can round off the discussion with our last little personal picks here. Hannibal, do you got any lightning round picks you want to fire off?
One lightning round was Yo Asakura from Shaman King.
Okay.
His level 1 Oversoul was
bro.
Just because
that's the gauntlet. That's the first like gauntlet form.
Yeah, where it's just like a weird face on the sword.
Yes.
And I like that one because it. First off, for how much he struggled against Silva, and Silva had like full mastery over it.
Yeah.
But also because I like theorizing on things, and when I realized, and it was explained that you find something that matches the nature of the soul you want to put it into, it became fun to try and figure out what is everyone else's oversoul going to end up looking like.
Yeah.
Was wrong. I was wrong every single time. Like everyone.
Yeah. There's no way. The abilities.
Always wrong.
And it is always the best when you're always wrong. But like I remember, like vaguely, it's been a long time since I've done Shaman King. But the one character that I'll never forget is we were talking about it a little bit earlier. Ryu.
Yeah.
Ryu,
bro, with the pompadour and yes, bro.
Never forget him.
Yes.
Ever.
And
his hair got so fucked up in that whole series.
And he was so cool. And he was so cool because he used the wooden sword. And and those characters are just always so tight. And his oversoul, his ability.
The hitchhiking thumb was the best shit.
I forgot all about that.
The hitchhiking. It was always that one pickup truck that would show up and pick him up.
Yes. And then I remember his ability being like, it's like a Hydra.
Yep, that was it. It's like level 3 ability.
Yeah. I remember him. Having a Hydra like a Orochi. I think it was called Orochi.
I think it was too.
Yeah.
I'm a little rusty on my Shaman King, but I think that sounds right.
Yeah, I'm super, but I'll never. I mean, like that's the character that I fucked with in that series, and the abilities in Shaman King were so cool. I need to just read through Shaman King because it's so weird, like having, and it's that point in time where, you're just kind of starting to get into anime. And this is one of the first ones you see. And then like you watch, some of the episodes out of order. And then, like when you grow up and you have access to the internet, you're like, oh shit, there's a manga for this, and then you start, reading through the manga. Like you try to find like, like where you left off, like in the random episodes that you saw, back in the day. But yeah, dude, Soul Eater's a great pick. Did you?
Shaman King.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your words on.
No, that was shit. I love Oversoul as a concept, and it was so cool. It was something I'd never seen before anywhere else. About you take the soul of a thing and you put it in something else that matches its nature, and all of a sudden now it can affect the natural world. Yeah. Granted, it really drains you, but it was nice. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, just for a quick lightning round pick. I mean, I'll kind of like put these two together. But I'll kind of put these two together because I mean we've already talked about Yu Yu Hakusho, so like I really wanted to talk about Yoko Kurama.
Yes. Fuck yes.
I forgot all about that.
Man, I was gonna be so mad if we finished this, and then I thought back to Yoko Kurama, bro. Thank you.
Yoko Kurama goes so hard, and it's so tight that like he's a plant-based, fighter, and he always has been. But like the difference in the plants from Yoko Kurama to regular Kurama, where it's like he had kind of parasitic plants a little bit, like in like based Suichi Kurama form. But like Yoko Kurama form, it's like became a whole different thing.
I think the first time we saw a parasitic
fly trap thing.
Yeah, that tree that ate that dude.
Karasu.
I think it was Karasu.
Yeah, in the Dark Tournament.
Karasu is the Yoko Kurama one.
But I think the first time that we saw parasitic plants was in the Saint Beast arc when he was fighting the cultivated humans. Didn't he have like a leech seed type of ability?
That's the first guy. I don't remember what that guy's name was, but he like threw a pebble at him or something, like a little rock at him. He's like, "You hit me with a pebble."
Oh yeah, it was against the Saint Beast.
Yep, it was who was it?
No, the Saint Beast. He fought Genbu. And he just killed him with
Rose Whip.
Rose Whip.
Yeah. But then it was the cultivated humans, right?
No, cultivating humans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, those were those were like straight fodder.
But no, that leech seed type ability was the first round in the Dark Tournament. And I don't remember what that guy's name was, but the reason he had to do that is because that dude's like, I don't really fight battles, right? Like I got a twin brother, he's about to kill your human mom. Yeah. So, and as soon as I press this button, she'll die.
Yeah, that's right.
So he had to he threw that little rock at him, and so the dude was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Throwing a rock at me? You can really throw a rock at me when I can just end your mom right now?" And he threw the rock at him so he could throw the leech seed in his chest at the same time. Like threw two at once, and he only felt the rock opposed to like a spirit seed or whatever.
Right.
So, but that was tight too.
So that was one thing I never understood about Kurama in general. Is like, so did he like generate the seeds himself, or did he just carry that shit on him?
He carried that shit on him and used the spirit energy to alter him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, and because there's one time too where he holds his hand out and he's like, "I got a ray of seeds here. Would you like to try one? Or whatever. I got one for you. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
So that was always super tight. But like that one in particular with the leech seed one was really tight because like it did like overtake him and like eat him and then like bloomed into like a pretty ass flower, a bunch of flowers or whatever. Yeah. No, Karasu's the one that bloomed into a big pretty ass flower.
That's right.
Whereas that dude bloomed into like a bunch of tiny fucking flowers.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, but that's I always liked his character, and I mean, along the same lines is Yusuke demon transformation,
Mazoku.
Yes. Which like. At that time, Yu Yu Hakusho's kind of going downhill at that point. Like Sensui was.
They could have ended at Sensui if we're honest.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Sensui was cool. Like I like Chapter Black Saga, but like after that, it's not so great. But like you got Mazoku, and you're like, is this Super Saiyan 3?
Don't hit me.
Hey, you guys are about to transform, fighting each other?
Yeah.
I might.
We're about to see a transformation on the show. Here we go.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you gotta bring up Mazoku for sure. I'm glad that you remembered the clutch Yu Yu Hakusho transformation.
Well, I didn't even think about I had Yoko Kurama on the list, and that's the one I was thinking about a little bit more for a lightning round pick. But when Hannibal brought up Toguro, I was like, oh yeah, Yusuke did that shit too, similar or something, So yeah.
Hell yeah,
I liked it because it introduced the third energy type.
Yeah.
So you got spirit energy, got sacred energy, and then you got demon
energy. Yeah.
Which they never really explained too much, but I was like, I'm actually kind of okay with that. But it was just nice to know that there was more than just spirit energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Straight up.
Togashi was just warming up,
Yeah, he was getting ready for the real deal. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into our last round here, and then we can close off the conversation. Hannibal, why don't you start with your last personal pick?
My last personal pick, without doubt, Super Tangential Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Where he turned into the full galaxy mode.
Yeah, dude.
Just take me, man.
And it's like I never really went through to Gurren Lagann, but I've seen that scene.
Yep.
And that shit is hectic.
That scene is the one everyone has seen.
Yeah.
How do you turn ow, fucker? Oh, she got me good. So yeah, how do you turn a robot into the known universe is basically what he ended up being by the end of it.
Right.
And basically just every transformation in that series kind of worth it. Like even just the basic Gurren Lagann, where he just took the little robot and stabbed himself in the head with it.
Yeah.
Like, who knew that was going to work?
Yeah.
But that one is probably my favorite transformation.
Yes, bro. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. When Kamina dies, that's some shit, you know.
I mean, why do you have to bring it there, man? We were having a good time.
That's okay. And it happens early in the series, which you don't really see, you know, like in you know, anime too often, where it's like we got like a main character who's really like the character of the fucking show. Like,
but that's why they had to die, because I think the writers forgot that Simone was supposed to be the main character.
That's what it felt like, because Kamina was just so tight. Like early, you're just like,
okay, I don't know if it's true, if it's still like this now, but on Netflix, when they had Gurren Lagann, episode 8, where Kamina died, is actually skipped. They didn't even have that on Netflix. There was so much bullshit. It went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then skipped 8, and then went to 9. So everyone's sad for no fucking reason, basically.
Yo, Netflix.
Yep.
What are you doing, man?
They're like, we ain't letting our mans die out here.
So they love Gurren Lagann.
They just decided you don't need to see that.
They didn't have the heart to. Oh no,
bruh's capping fucking, you know, sunglasses. We're too wavy. We ain't letting Buddy go out.
His drip went crazy though.
Yeah. But I'm glad you remember that it was episode 8. I didn't remember what episode what it was, but it's just that's a good thing to think about for that series, where it's like, not often do you have a character that you love that much and who really seems like the forefront of the story to die that early.
Yeah.
And that it still is a good story the whole rest of the way. You know? Yeah.
Didn't lose any steam at all.
No, didn't lose any steam.
I'm not gonna lie, but my buddy at the time told me, he's like, no, it sucks, just push through it. They're like, this is like if Zoro gets folded up in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, like if he never made it past Mihawk, and Mihawk just thugged him to death, like
would it even be the same show without him?
No, I don't even want to think about it. Oh, is that all you had for Gurren Lagann?
That was it, man.
Hiko.
All right. So my big one that I wanted to save is Tatsumi in Curcio.
Okay, baby.
From Akame
got killed, bro.
I haven't actually watched it yet. It's on my list.
Don't watch it. Read it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I got a few things to say of anime versus. So yeah, you can watch the anime to like episode like
18.
18. I didn't know. I was gonna say like 13.
No, you go to episode 18, and I mean,
then
like,
you should read the manga.
Well, you can. It follows the manga.
So in Curcio is a armor basically thing. So.
Whoa,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't. That was weird, but I don't know. Yeah, what happened there? But anyway, fucking in Curcio. Actually, let's back up a little bit. So, in Curcio was made off the remains of a danger beast tyrant, which is the strongest danger beast there is. Basically, a big fucking dragon, fucking T-Rex, fucking thing.
Yeah,
and you know, that's how a lot of Tegu, which are their fucking weapons that they use, that are
also their energy system.
Their energy system, yeah, exactly. It's their abilities, their weapons, their whole shit, really. And they're all kind of made from Danger Beast, I want to say, or...
I think I remember it being like that, yeah.
But there wasn't one made from, like, anywhere near as strong as in Curcio, other than maybe Grand Chariot, which was basically the prototype to in Curcio.
Yeah.
And they're basically the same thing, where it's like, they get encased with a fucking mech type suit of armor, looking like a
combat,
Ida.
like a flex suit. Yeah, it's like Ingenium. It does look like
Ingenium. Yeah. And so that's really what happens with that ability is just a lot of base stats being raised: speed, strength, agility, that kind of shit. And he also has his big ass fucking spear that's super fucking sick.
Yes.
But so the main reason I wanted to bring this up is because the suit is basically a symbiote. It's basically a sentient being as well. Like the danger beast still lives inside of it, and it evolves with Tatsumi.
Yes.
At his detriment at some point, where it's like, first
it is symbiotic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Definitely. And it's like, his first level was the same level as the guy he got it from, who died, and he gets a dude from, gets the suit from him.
Yeah.
And also got a shout outs to the man Bulat Pompadour squad out here.
Pompadour gang rise, baby. My hair almost long enough for that, so that might be coming soon to a screen near you. Okay.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so like it evolves. Like the first time it evolves is because he basically loses a fight, and then he comes back to basically fight Esdeath and Budo. And when he comes back and it's evolved this time, it has resistance to ice and lightning, which was basically their two Tagus that he's already been hit with.
Yes.
And so his shit evolves with him and gives him, resistances to shit he's already encountered.
Yes.
Very, Saiyan like or something. I don't know. He got hit with it and now he can counter it kind of.
Right. What didn't kill him made him stronger.
Yeah, and he
Sounds
can't
like
fully counter it. But,
not like what?
It sounds like Doomsday, where he can't be killed by the same thing that killed him.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. And another ability that he had is that he could go invisible, and he didn't use it very often. It was like a trump card.
Yeah.
But the thing about him going invisible with Incursio is he didn't erase his presence. So like high level fucking fighter Tegu users could sense like his, killing intent or whatever. It could sense his aggression around him. So that was a really good thing where it was like, because invisibility if you got a suit that just makes you so strong and like the best fighter,
and you
like,
get perfect plan.
Yeah, and you get perfect plan. That's too broken.
Yeah,
so that was really good that they made sure that you could still sense him in that. And so he keeps fighting these hard battles, and the fights in Akame are so vicious and so gruesome and so fucking serious with high stakes. Every fucking fight has the highest fucking stakes ever.
Big butt clench at all time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Doesn't that get I don't know, exhausting after a while? I haven't.
It's stressful, man. It's stressful as fuck, bro.
Yeah, that's
okay. But see, Akame is like a seinen, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're going to see higher stakes just off of that alone. I don't remember which magazine it came out of, but it wasn't Jump.
I highly doubt it came out of Jump, and if it did, it had to be a Jump Plus type shit.
Yeah,
it couldn't have been out of regular.
Had to be like a Jiko Karaku, type situation.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jump had Hunter, and Hunter had a dude eat another dude.
Yeah. but you can just tell that Akame is just a different level of
it's more ruthless than
you get sexual assault and all types of shit in Akame,
and not just regular sexual assault.
Yeah, you get pedophilia, sexual assault. So it's
Why do I want to read this again,
bro? So it's one guy and it's so small and he's out of here in no time, bro.
But it hits hard when it hits. You're
not ready for shit like that when you see it, and it does its job and then it's over with. You never see it again.
And people get ended though so ruthlessly
and so satisfyingly.
And it's there's a lot of savage deaths.
It's super good, man. It's an assassin book.
So just watch up until episode
you can watch up to episode 18 and then read the manga from there. But you might want to go back a little bit in the manga to a little bit before what happens in episode 18, so you can see the true Wild Hunt, because the Wild Hunt is the last little team of antagonists that they fight before it goes into endgame shit.
All right, but is that series done yet, or am I gonna?
Yeah, it's done. It's over with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally could just pick the manga. You could just read the manga and not watch the anime at all.
Yeah, but the anime is beautiful for a while though.
It is. No, it's great quality. It's well done.
That's the one with the blue hair chick and the sailor out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and she's the ruthless bitch you ever see in your life.
She is nothing to play with, bro.
Not playing.
Yeah.
I'll risk it.
Yeah,
for sure.
So his last transformation after taking a lot of hard fought battles on the suit, the symbiotic nature of the suit basically starts taking over his body, where even when he's not activated, he has the red eye, and it starts really taking him over. And his last fucking form of it's super tight, because it's he still is humanoid, but now he's big dragon wings and a more of a dragon head. And another tight part about his fucking transformation is that when he goes into a Curcio suit, and Curcio couldn't act on its own without him directing it. So he was about to get stabbed in the fucking head.
And Curcio said, nope.
Opens the jaw and just bites that sword so he don't get stabbed in the head with it.
Yes, fam.
Bro, that's... Akame got killed. It's a shame that the anime started too early when there wasn't the manga wasn't finished.
Yeah, and they just ran out of source material and started doing whatever they wanted to do, and it was fucking terrible.
Oh, you got that Bleach treatment.
It was a travesty, fam.
Yeah, and we were real mad when that happened,
bro.
Like, we were reading
because we were so hyped for the adaptation, bro, and we're in the manga chat like it's time, boys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So are they going to do like an OVA to kind of bring it up to speed?
I just don't
gone.
care.
That's like it ended like 3 years ago. So
that's what we're done with.
Yeah, that's hard done. But like the anime, you could watch the anime and probably enjoy it if you don't read the manga. But if you were reading the manga, you're just like, the manga just hits so much harder in so many ways. That
they had my guy Lubbock fucked up in the anime, bro. Like they ruined his entire character.
He went down like a G. So
in the manga, he was a rider till the very end. And they hoed him.
Yeah, characters on the good side can die easily.
Yeah. Don't get too attached, my pal.
They don't got the plot armor.
No.
Plot armor is not a thing in Akame. Anybody could die.
How many chapters is it?
It's 185.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, if they fold up main characters every other chapter, eventually they'll run out of a cast. So that makes sense.
Yeah, you'll see. It's cold. Okay. It's super tight. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Incursio?
No, this is super tight. If I could transform, I'd transform into Incursio, right?
Yeah, if I had a weapon that was all of my power, I would want it to be Incursio or Akame's sword. But
but that's if you're cold-blooded without any kind of transformation. Yeah. I'll take some extra base passive strength, speed, and agility for free. Akame was cold-blooded without any of that, which
see, I don't, dude like me, I don't be cutting corners. You feel me? So if I get,
I do. I'm fat as hell. I'll be out here eating all day.
If I get that sword, bro, I'm a throw that in storage until I'm tight. But yeah, dude, Incursio is a great spotlight. Thanks for. I'm so happy with all the picks that you guys have brought into the. I feel content because I was gonna be a little bit worried that we didn't touch on a lot of, because our picks were super personal and they're like a lot of them are really unexpected, but I feel like we have an incredible balance of nostalgia and, you know, ones that definitely should have been highlighted and, you know, some pocket picks that, you know, everybody wasn't expecting. I'll go ahead and round the conversation off with my final pick here, and this one isn't really, you know, as crescendo-y of a final pick, you know, as you would think, but I feel like we covered a lot of the staples anyway. So I just want to talk about a really cool moment for me inside of the Nanatsu no Taizai manga and anime, and Meliodas versus Ban in the fighting festival to get Gideon for Diane.
Okay, I do remember. Okay, I saw that bit.
Yes, so that was crazy to me because like it was crazy going through Nanatsu because it was almost like, you know, I think it was the first series that I had ever experienced where the characters were broken already. You know what I mean? So and I think that they handled that beautifully because they kind of like turned the genre on its head a little bit, because whereas if this would happened in, you know, a regular shonen story where the main character wasn't shit at the beginning and you see him come up and you get this transformation in this fighting festival, it still would have been hype, but it smacked a little bit harder in Nanatsu because you already know that these guys are crazy and they're really enigmatic in regard to how their powers work, and you just want to keep seeing more and more of their powers, and you're waiting for those power-ups. They're not even power-ups, you're waiting for more of the power that's already there to be shown. You know what I mean? And this is the first time that you see Meliodas go into his dark form, I think, is in this tournament.
I think that was the first time.
and it's
might have been the second time. I don't know.
Because
I remember him fighting like the guy who this is so foggy. This is so.
I know it's been a minute, bro.
The dude like who had Hellbrim's helmet before Hellbrim for some reason. I don't remember how that worked out. I probably shouldn't, but it's like I remember this one like the thing that hyped me up about Nanatsu so much is like, I feel like there was like a broken sword on the ground because his sword was broke. Yeah, his sword was always broken. The one with the fucking the dragon at the bottom, and it was like laying on the ground, and it was just like in the grass, and it was just like really pretty drawing the way it was.
Yeah,
and he just activates. Man, that could have been after that.
I think it is after, because I remember like when I was going through, because you were farther than me. You put me onto the series, and you were farther than me. And when I got to that point, I remember coming back to the manga chat like, he's got a crazy dark form, you know what I mean? And that's in this fighting festival arc. And it's so crazy because Ban and Meliodas are fighting, and you know they're not going all out, you know what I mean, because they're boys. But Ban hits him with the physical hunt and drains all of his energy, you know what I'm saying? And he's beating Meliodas, and I'm like, dang, so Ban's stronger than Meliodas, like in a 1v1 kind of situation. And then Meliodas comes up,
you're not,
grabs him by the fucking wrist, and his wrist is like crushed and like flailing. And then you see Meliodas' face, and he's got like this sinister ass look with this curse mark and like all of this shit going on, and you're like, yo, and then he has him by the wrist, and just and it's one hit.
But
and it just evaporates him, you know what I mean? But then when you look at Ban in the distance, he's got all types of holes in him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's when I was like, oh my, for the very first time, in the series, because like you're getting impressed by, the feats that you're seeing, but like it's kind of like par for the course, right? Because that these characters are insanely
They're strong.
Yeah. But then you see something like this and you're like, oh, okay, so these motherfuckers are next level strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, when am I gonna see the bottom of this iceberg? You know what I'm saying? And it just upped the hype levels of the story so much for me seeing that, you know what I mean? And it's like, now I can't wait to see every other sin, because I know that the shonen formula is bigger and better, scaling on
like
in
the
future.
Escalation.
The escalation, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if Meliodas is doing something like this in chapter 25, then what's chapter 100 gonna look like? You know what I mean? So that was just huge, and there wasn't a whole lot that I wanted to say about it, but that was just a gigantic moment, for
I think it was really done really well. Just Meliodas is in the early series. It's like early in the series, like it was really I don't know, just utilized well. It happened in good spots. It wasn't where it didn't really feel too ass-pulley, even though it kind of is, because it's like,
but the way that they had the formula set up, it was okay. This isn't a new power up out of nowhere. This is power from a reserve that we just know is there, but haven't seen all of yet.
Yeah.
So that's why it works so well.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're like, okay, we knew he has a bunch of shit we ain't seen yet. He's about to break it out. I mean, maybe not all of it, but and it's, you really didn't. At least I didn't, like, reading the series originally. Like, I was like, we know he's got a deeper power, but the way he's just kind of like lighthearted and like kind of Luffy
and kind of like expressionless in serious situations because he knows he's cold. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that you're not ready for him to activate in that way.
Yes.
Like, I thought it would be like he's gonna activate, but he still like has his mind with him. Where it's like when he activates demon form with demon fucking black flame around him, whatever you call it.
Not so much anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and that's that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this discussion tonight. If you did, Hannibal, thank you for coming on the show. Finally, I've been trying to get you out here, bro. And look at the discussion we had.
So goddamn much.
Yeah. Well, hey, life comes at you fast, but I'm glad that you found time in your busy schedule to join us. But smash the like button if you enjoyed the episode. Smash the subscribe button if you're new to the Project Manga podcast. And you can hit the bell icon next to subscribe, and we'll chirp y'all when the next episode is online. Drop your favorite anime transformation in the comments down below. Make sure you visit the description so that you can see Hannibal's extra dimensional pop culture aesthetic page, as well as other ways to support Project Manga and a way to find us pretty much anywhere else that you get your podcasts. That's going to do it for this episode of Tangential Tie-Ins. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm your host, M.A.N.G.A.
It's your boy Kiko.
Hannibal.
And we'll catch y'all next time.